Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Tea Time with April, the show where I like things. This is the mug for today. That's it. We ain't focusing on these anymore. So today we're talking about Call of Duty Zombies. For anyone not familiar, Call of Duty Zombies is a staple for modern gaming, with a player base in the hundreds of thousands. Today we'll be discussing what makes the game so special. It's 2008. You've just finished the new Call of Duty, and you have a sense of pride, and you have a much deserved break. As you see the credits scroll, you take a sip of your Call of Duty World at War promotional flask. The screen goes black. You see a plane in the distance, a body running towards you. Uncomfortable breathing sounds send a shiver down your spine. The screen fades into black. Bloody red text appears on the screen. Nazi zombies. You grab your controller in a rush, thinking that you just unlocked a secret mission. You shoot the enemies, but they keep coming. Your gun is running out of ammo. You die. Game over. A guitar plays. You hear a demonic laugh. You survive 3 rounds. This is a lot of players' first introduction to this game mode. I wish it was mine. I came in a bit later. People were addicted to this game. We all know the story about the devs playing high round, how it wasn't supposed to be in the game and it nearly got cut, and how they just got addicted to it themselves. But this was a goldmine. Toten was such a huge success, the Call of Duty developers allowed them to make more maps, reusing assets from the multiplayer and campaign to create more experiences, strengthening and building the community. And today, we're going to talk about some of them. So, the first map pack, Verrückt. This is one of the creepiest maps in all of Call of Duty, and it still is to this day. Like, I've only played it like 5 times. I just can't. Like, I've tried. It's just so viscerally terrifying. Turn that down a bit. Yeah, it's so terrifying that, yeah, I can only play it like 4 times. Like, I've only played it like 4 times in my entire time. I've been playing this game since like 2012. They introduced the 4 core perks, Juggernog, which would increase your health, Quick Revive, which would help you revive enemies at the time. Enemies? It'll let you revive your friends at the time. Well, I guess depending on who you play with. Point huggers were looking at you, and it would, become a future staple of That's Your Lives in solo. Then you had Juggernog. Then you had Speed Cola, faster reload times, amazing. That's a game changer. And Double Tap. Now, Double Tap did get better with the 2.0, but the original Double Tap, I would argue, is still a really good perk. Like, faster fire rate does not mean you're burning through your ammo faster. I don't know where this came from, but no. It's great. I love it. This new map added a fast-paced aspect to the game mode that you didn't really see in Toten. Toten was more, you just chilling. Eventually you'll get run over. But the fast-pacedness of Verrückt changed everything. They added a lot of world building with all these weird sound effects and stuff all over the map. And this was the first map with a moving box. So suddenly, you didn't know where you were getting your weapon sometimes. Then, Shinonuma came. Not much was added in Shinonuma, apart from the first ever non-ray gun wonder weapon. Now, ray gun's been a staple since the start, but the Wonder Fizz really elevated the series to, a point where you could expect something new, something unique from these experiences. Also, that was my PlayStation. I'm gonna mute my telly. Telly, look at me, I'm so British, let's drink a cup of tea. Anyway, there was also more lore hints. There's this big, meteor from the sky is glowing red. Like, what's going on there? The dogs. This introduces the dogs in Shinonuma, and they were horrifying. Now, I played World at War a couple times, and those dogs are built different. Oh my god. Like, I was scared in Black Ops 1 when I first saw the dogs, but the World of War dogs, oh my lord, those are horrifying, even as an adult. Plus, Shinonuma added something that would become quite an essential component to the franchise, and it's something that's kind of overlooked these days, but wide open spaces. Now, obviously the newer games have a lot of wide open spaces, but people don't acknowledge how much this changes the game sometimes. Like, wide open spaces really can transform a map into either a good map or a bad map. Like, you need a place to train. And finally, Doris, one of the most, if not the second most important aspects of the series. Definitely the most important as far as growth goes, because they added the teleporters, a very important part of the plot. They added the Pack-a-Punch, one of the key components to every Zombies game, and a mini Easter egg. Now, it wasn't a main Easter egg, but it was the start. The Flytrap Easter egg, although people didn't know what it meant, really resonated with people. Like, people liked the Flytrap Easter egg, you know? And over the year between World at War and Black Ops 1, the Zombies community grew. People were playing with their friends, trying to be the best on the leaderboards, and people were asking for more. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 released with 2 maps, one repurposed from a cancelled World at War DLC, and one as a bonus map for completing the campaign, reusing some assets from the main campaign. The competition was reignited, and people were arguing over which one was better. You had Kino de Toten, which had it basic in the best way possible. It had the main stage. You had Syndicate's fake 115 run, which I don't actually know when that came in, but that's essential. And the Thunder Gun. Now, the Thunder Gun was amazing. You know, you just blast them away. Like, Kino de Toten. By the way, I'm Kino de Toten all the way. I feel like most people are these days, but Kino de Toten was amazing. But then, on the other corner, you had 5. JFK, the other people that nobody cares about. Unique teleportation system, which I genuinely do like. I know it's generally hated upon because of the amount that's in the basement, but I like the teleportation system. I think it adds something, it adds a nice drama to it, like you're just trying to escape the basement, get to the middle. And Eminem. Now, this isn't the first Easter egg song, but it's definitely the one to me that strikes the most important. Because this was, I believe, the first one from like a major artist. Like, Eminem was, I believe he was kind of peaking at the time. So, this was a big deal, right? And, of course, the Pentagon Thief. Some people hated him because he would steal your gun. And then you'd be crying because he stole your ray gun because you thought you could kill him before he came up to you. Or you would get a bonfire sale for killing him really fast, and you'd be able to pack punch your weapon for just 1,000 points. In that game, there's not much to spend your points on, so I don't know why that matters too much, but still, it was very cool. Now, people were obsessed all over again. This time, they were more interested in the amount of points they could get, and thumbnails were filled with yellow numbers and wall weapons. However, it started slowing down at the perfect time, because then you would get Ascension. Now, okay, I want to just focus a little more on the point thing. This was a weird time for Call of Duty Zombies, right? Because, like, high rounds were important, but it was all about those points, man. You get the worst weapon off the wall, shoot it. The amount of times I just see the amount of points in a thumbnail, amazing. Anyway, going back to Ascension. This map had the first ever full Easter egg. Now, personally, I don't really consider it the first. Good time to sip tea. I don't really consider it the first Easter egg because I consider the Flytrap to be the first Easter egg. But I understand how this is the first Easter egg because you got these random things you gotta do. You're doing all these things. You're achieving a goal. You're freeing Dr. Gush, I believe. And you get the 60-second machine gun. Minigun? Minigun. So that's pretty cool. They also added Stamina Up, arguably one of the core perks. I know it came in a game afterwards, but I would argue it's up there with the top 4, you know. I don't think of it as the core 4, I think of it as the 5. But there is a core 4, it is a core 4. And I swear this time they were trying to color code them towards what they do, because like, double tap speeds up your gun, Stamina Up speeds up your run, you know. Yellow, orange, I feel like they were trying to do something then. Definitely didn't stay with that theme, but that's fine, that's fine. They also returned the Thunder Gun, showing that you can return previous Wonder Weapons if it fits and if it's good enough and if you think it'll work. Some people call this lazy. I call it amazing. They also added the monkeys, as in like the weapon monkey, not the weapon monkey, the cosmonaut monkeys, and they were a terrible addition, and that's the only reason I don't play that map. I love that map. I refuse to play it though because I'm not getting my bugs stolen, especially on solo. Oh my god, they could just take away your life when you're not even there. No. Plus, who was this on the poster? People were actually confused about who was this on the poster. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Gush, but you know, that was a big deal. With the first full Easter egg, this was the newest flex. Of course, there was an insane amount of points and high round. You know, that was still good, but you get 3 friends together, like 3 friends other than yourself, and complete an Easter egg. This was the best thing you could do. Like, you were up there. You were like the best at zombies if you beat one of these Easter eggs. And you could take your crew with you, which is cool. Then they had a Call of the Dead. George Romero, PhD, all-star cast, amazing. PhD, one of the best perks of all time, arguably my favorite perk. No, I don't know. It's a good perk. It's not my favorite. You'll find out my favorite later. You won't like it. But it is a great perk. And, you know, George Romero, and, you know, rest in peace, George Romero, invented the concept of zombies. Having him has this weird, like, boss guy that would follow you around. Like, that was really nice, you know? Although, it does kind of lessen the map for me, to be honest, because I know it's to prevent you camping, but I don't like being followed around 24/7. This is why I don't like Moon, the cosmonaut zombie, you know? Like, yeah. Anyway, we're not at Moon yet. We're at Call of the Dead. The all-star cast really, like, made it feel more... They really put faith into this, you know? It was huge. Like, this was one of the biggest maps of all time. I believe it was the biggest at the time. And they had 2 wonder weapons, which has, you know, that's called lasting ramifications, having more than 1 wonder weapon. One of them wasn't very good, but, you know, they had 2. Plus, I mean, honestly, a great map to add PhD Flopper, because imagine the scavenger without PhD Flopper. So, Call of the Dead solidified the expectation of an Easter egg, with the all-star cast proved that Activision was willing to put their money where their mouth was into this silly little game mode. Then, Shangri-La. Now, this introduced a bit of time travel into the franchise. I believe at this point there was no time travel in Call of Duty Zombies, which, I mean, that's crazy. It's great, given the current state of Call of Duty. Wow. This introduced the baby gun, one of the most popular wonder weapons of all time. Like, they were hitting banger after banger in these first few games. And the baby gun was, honestly, I've played that map a few times, even though it's difficult just for the baby gun. Like, I love the baby gun. Like, you kick them kids. They also added special variant zombies. Now, some people call the Shrieker and Napalm Zombie, like, boss zombies or something. But, personally, I would call them variants. You know, like... Not like the armored zombies, but like variants. You know what variants are. I don't need to talk about variants. Got Black Ops 4 for that. I'm not going to talk about variants in Black Ops 4. I'm going to ignore that. Plus, I believe this was where the free perk drop introduced. And now you could get more than 4 perks. Like, what? That's crazy. More than 4 perks in one match. Like, sign me up. Sign me up. I want all the perks. So, yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a skill shot, but, you know, I'm glad they added it. So, Shangri-La added a much-needed variety to the game. Having lush jungles instead of a cold facility, this made the game more well-rounded. Like, every map before that was either a facility, or a theater, or just, like, the outside, but, like, cold. It's always cold. And then you suddenly get pushed into this tropical jungle, which is, yeah, it's a grimy one, but it's still lush, you know? Then we got Moon. With its low gravity, changing of how you play. Area 51, I mean, how many times have you launched up Moon and then immediately tried to pack punch your gun and then died? Area 51, that, skill-based, I love that. The wave gun. I'm sorry, they made this whole thing for the wave gun with the advertisement, like with the live action thing, that was so cool. And then, you know, it splits into 2 guns, there's like variants of the same gun, and that's a good gun. Also, blowing up the fucking earth. I mean, yeah. I'm speechless just talking about it. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. This is a tea time after all. This is what they like now. The ending of Moon made a huge status quo shift in Call of Duty Zombies. This grand finale made lore YouTubers lose their minds. The amount of theories, everyone was just wondering what would happen with the next game. And in between, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, I was introduced to the game mode. I played a little bit at someone else's house of Kino de Tone, and I was terrified. Now, I lived across the road from this person, and It's a pretty big road. Like, it's a really wide road. It's weird for England how wide it was. But I sprinted across that road when I came home. Like, it was dark. I was horrified. And I was hooked. Every time we went over, we'd just be playing. I'd just be playing Call of Duty Zombies with him. And it was great. I got a PS3. And I didn't actually get Black Ops 1 until much later in life. But I loved it. Now, I was walking home from school with this guy once, and he showed me a YouTube video. Now, this was like 2000, I think it was 2011, 2012. The video was slow. It took like 10 minutes to bring up the video, and took another like 20 minutes to watch it, given all the buffering. But this video was talking about the new Call of Duty Zombies. I'm like, the new Call of Duty's got zombies. And I was very confused. And this Black Ops 2 game seemed really interesting. So I picked it up. I spent all the money I had getting that game, and it changed how I viewed video games forever. I wasn't really into games that much then, but I was hooked on this game. Black Ops 2, the launch, I loved the campaign. I was terrible at multiplayer, so I moved on to zombies. It was my first FPS game. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was one of the biggest games in all of culture. Still is. At the time, this is partially due to the huge boom of gaming YouTubers in 2012. Everybody wanted to be a quick scoper. This extra attention drew many people to the zombies mode. Treyarch took the story into a huge leap. People were interested in Call of Duty Zombies. And this was big. People wanted to know what was happening with this new destroyed world. Now, at the time, I didn't know any of this lore. I just came in, I assumed it was a zombie apocalypse. I wanted to know what happened. Turns out, there was a couple of games explaining that, but I didn't know. I was intrigued. Transit. This is one of the biggest maps in all zombies. It may still be the biggest. I'm not sure. Some of those outbreak maps are pretty big, but this is one of the biggest. It's definitely the biggest proper map, in my opinion. And honestly, I love it. They introduced the survival maps, which amazing way to introduce someone to zombies with survival maps. I'm so glad they're bringing it back for Black Ops. I'm so glad they bring it back for Black Ops 7. The avocado. I love the avocado. I hate the avocado. Fuck the avocado, but also, yes, bring back the avocado. He is, yeah, I don't think I ever used the thing on the top of the bus just because you need galvanicles, really, don't you? Honestly, why didn't they just give him normal health? I mean, now the jet gun. I never actually built the jet gun on Transit. I was very happy when it came back in Black Ops 6 because I could actually use it for once. But it was good. It was good. The map was a bit too big. You had to search around, you had to find this gun. You had to build it. They introduced building. I don't care about the traps in 5. Okay, this map introduced building and parts to the franchise. Okay, it's like, yeah, technically 5 has the one power thing, but this really added it. And crafting is an important part of the zombies this day. So, we gotta give it that. And Transit, as much as it is a bad map, brought some of the best maps in the survival maps, and I think it changed a lot. And it was really popular at the time, actually. Although Transit did become one of the most hated maps of all time, in the beginning people were so hyped. The sheer scope of the map had people searching for days for any potential missed Easter eggs with the new engine, the survival maps. It was easy to overlook the flaws. Plus, you know, Bus Route B, whoa, I said Bus Route B, Bus Route B, whoa. Yeah, Bus Route B, wow. I mean, that was... People thought Bus Route B was coming, even in Black Ops 3, which is just strange, really. Like, I mean, at that point, did they not have data miners? I don't know. Then came Dire Rise. They added the jumping jacks, which were just Nova crawlers, but more jumpy, I guess is the nicest way to say that. But I prefer them to Nova crawlers, personally, because I'd rather have them jump around in the gas clouds. You got an easy way to get a free perk. Which, that was nice. The little trampoline strat. Yeah, that was nice. They had a unique map progression. You know, the up and down vertical nature. Some people don't like it. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I'm one of those people. I will defend Dire Rise to my last breath. I like having to wait for the lifts. Yes, okay, it's a bit of a sticky situation and sometimes you are just waiting there. But the sheer terror of waiting for your lift and then getting on it at the right time as you go up. Cinema. Plus, who's who? That's my favorite perk. Yes. That's my favorite perk. It's a controversial opinion. I'm very aware of this, but I love what it represents. I do think it should prioritize Quick Revive over Who's Who. That I will agree with because of the free perks. You're gonna have them both at some point. But I actually really like Who's Who. It just felt like a skill-based way to continue your game after you ran out of the Quick Revive. Like after you run out of Quick Revive, I mean, you're gonna want Who's Who. I mean, people don't, but I do. Like, I don't know. You can, if you're good at the game, you can revive someone with just a pistol, right? And worst case scenario, your body dies. Guess what? You're starting from scratch with a pistol on round 25, which people say that as like a bad thing, but I'm like, no. You lost all your quick revives. You already did that. So better get those guns, you know? I think it's good. I like it. I will defend Diaries to my last breath. We gotta talk about the PhD Easter egg, don't we? They trolled people with that one. Now, a lot of people don't quite understand the damage mechanics of fall damage in Diaries. Like, okay, there are definitely places where you can fall to your death through fall damage, but those places are not supposed to be. You're not supposed to go down the side next to the mattresses. Like, I mean, you are supposed to jump on the mattress. You know the bit before that where you skip those floors? You're not supposed to skip those floors. Like, you're not supposed to go in the trampoline room round 1. Like, I'm sorry, but you're complaining about fall damage in places you're not supposed to be. Like, I'm not gonna assume that's a thing. The only other place I can think of is down the elevator shaft. Okay, that one's a bit. But it is a skill. It's a skill thing. Like, it's not too big of a skill thing. I mean, if you can't make this tiny jump, I mean, what are you doing? I understand. Some people want PhD. And then they put PhD in the map. The model of the PhD machine in an inaccessible area. People really thought for a while, like I thought, that you could get PhD by getting 3 perk Easter egg enough times. Turns out you can't. I think that would have been a really good Easter egg, but they didn't do that. Plus, there's Liquefier. Still one of the best weapons in COD, even after the patch. Although you can do this little glitch to get the pre-patch version. I don't know how it works, but you know, you can. Plus, there's the roof. The roof is one of the nicest places to be in Call of Duty Zombies, in my opinion. I love the roof. I'm a Diaries fan. Roast me in the comments. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. And the little Mob of the Dead Easter egg at the end where you hear the cellar shot. I love that. Like at the time I was just like, oh, it's a lift falling, you know? Ooh, it's a lift falling. No, that was Brutus. He's coming to kill you. Although Diaries is one of my most favorite maps of all time, this was not reciprocated by the community. This caused a bit of discourse whether the game was dying or not. Like today. Personally, I don't think it's dying, but we'll talk about that later. Then came Mob of the Dead. I'm gonna have to take a drink before this one. This one, the big one. Mob of the Dead. It added the mobsters, Afterlife, Blundergat, Acid Gat. Now, the mobsters, amazing characters, right? I love all of them. I don't remember the names off the head. All I remember is magic bullets. Sure, I want your magic bullets. I don't think that's the right quote. And then the Afterlife, like a unique death thing, that was new. That was really new. That was cool. You suddenly had to do like all these skill shots and, well, not really skill shots, but you had to time it properly, you know? I'm really good at Afterlife. I played way too much Black Ops 2. But then you had the Blundergat and the Acid Gat. I don't know why. But for some reason, people keep saying there are 3, like, Blundergats. Like, yeah, I know Black Ops 4. But in this game, I never understand why. Because they're like, oh, you got the Blundergat, the Acid Gat, and the Vajolic Withering. No, that's a Pack-a-Punch variant. What are you talking about? There are 2 variants. You can Pack-a-Punch in both. And weirdly enough, people always turn the Blundergat into the Acid Gat before they Pack-a-Punch it. Which, you know you can convert it afterwards, right? Like, you don't have to deal with the worst version of the Blundergat before you get the upgrade. Like, the Vajolic Withering's better than the Blundergat, but also the Acid Gat's worse than the Blundergat. You should upgrade it afterwards. That's my personal take. That's how I always play. I like the map. Plus the Golden Spork Easter egg. Plus this added the first big boss regular zombie guy. It's like Brutus. He's just like a big version of the normal zombies, really. I mean, he could shut your stuff down, but like he wasn't really that unique. He was just big. I like that. I'm terrified of him. I'm still to this day, I'm terrified of him. He's just a bigger version of the regular zombies, and I love that. Then they added the first ever Easter egg to end your game. I think that's true. And that was a big deal to me. I was like, oh my god, you can complete this zombie map? You can win? I never managed to do it. I don't know enough people to do that, and I don't play on PC, so I can't install those mods. But I want to someday. Plus, the red eyes, which later we found out was a decision based off of nothing, that added a lot of lore, the unnecessary lore, and people were worried. People were confused about that since like up until last year. Like, one of the biggest mysteries in all zombies, you don't tell them into multiverse stuff. And then there's the first ever jump scare. Don't worry, we'll not include it. I will show a picture. That triggered a lot of lore stuff as well. But Mob of the Dead was the first map developed by Jason Blundell. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was. The first one where he's like in charge, even though he wasn't the director. Yeah, it's a... I don't quite understand how it works, but I'm pretty sure this is credited as his first ever zombie map. Anyway, his style of zombie maps were a refreshing change to the series, including a larger focus on atmosphere and storytelling. This map reinvigorated the community. It left us wanting more. So many questions were answered. It was goldmine to the story community. And this new vibrant gameplay added so much excitement for the series. Like, I cannot overstate how much this tasted like a raspberry after you've had a lot of vanilla. Like, okay, I love vanilla ice cream, right? I will eat vanilla ice cream all day. Give me that vanilla ice cream. Give me Black Ops 1. But the raspberry ripple coming in from Mob of the Dead, damn. Oh, that's good. Or fresh raspberry. I prefer fresh raspberries. But I do like ice cream. Raspberry Ripple's my favorite type of ice cream. Trivia. Okay. Okay. Then we had Buried. Now, Buried was a great map in its own right. It's definitely, probably one of the most favorites of the Victor's map for most people. And... yeah, it had Leroy. No, yeah, you can only call it Arthur, but guess what? I watched Syndicate back in the day, so I'm gonna call him Leroy. The chalk, like, you could place the chalk down? What? You could pick where your war weapons go. They added the ghost, which are creepy, and everyone calls witches, but they're not witches, they are ghosts. What's wrong with you? Do you not know the difference between a witch and a ghost? Plus, it ended the Victor story, and I like the ending of the Victor story. I think it was, I mean, later on we found out about the multiverse stuff, and I like that universe. I really like that universe. Buried was a great map. I think we can all agree to that. But that was it. That was the end of the Victus. With the Buried ending, Victus' story was left, and I was satisfied. People were satisfied. Some people were a little disappointed that there was no good ending. However, the solid gameplay makes this map one of the best zombies maps to this day. But yeah, I think I really think that this map, the ending was just, it's satisfying, you know? Like, yeah, it's a bad ending, it's tragic ending, either one. But you did it. You finished the story. Anyway, Origins. Oh my god. Where do I begin with Origins? Let's start with the staff, shall we? You had 4 wonder weapons. Everyone was fighting over which staff they could get. Each one had their own different quest. It was like a choose-your-own-adventure story. Like, I loved all of these. So, out of all the staffs, my favorite was the fire staff. It's not really these days, but I really liked the fire staff. I think... I bit my tongue. Insipidity and pathetic. Wish I didn't already use my Call of Duty mug. Anyway, so... my favorite was the fire staff, right? I would always get the fire staff. I thought it was a skill-based staff. I thought they all had, like, themes, which they kind of had themes, but, like... honestly, fire staff, it's not that great. Like, it's not that great. It crashes your game. I never got high enough for it to crash my game, but it does crash your game. And the fire staff, fun fact. Now, I'm pretty much an expert on this map because I've been playing it for, like, pretty much since it came out. I played it, like, non-stop. Like, to this day, I still play it, like, at least once a week. That, you know the bit where you light up the torches? Yeah, there's no order to that. For some reason, people say there's an order. There's no order. You just need to know the numbers. Hit them with whatever order you want. Yes, there is a bug on the Black Ops 3 version, and I believe it's still on the Black Ops 2 version. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. You're spending way too long reading these things, being like, oh, what order do I do it? It doesn't matter what order you do it in. It doesn't matter. I hate it. I hate it. I need to get off my chest. This is the best video to do that. Ow, I hit my finger. Anyway, now we had a new version of the old crew. Now, I didn't really talk much about the Premise crew, or the Ultimus crew, whichever one's which. But they're a good crew. They're a good crew. I don't really care about the crews. I mean, I think they're important to the maps, and I think they're important to the gameplay, and they should be in every game. But, looking at you, Cold War. But I think that in like this new crew, it was weird. Like they were younger versions of the old crew, and like they met each other before they were supposed to meet each other. Like what's up with that? And the blood vials. I don't know whether that got looked at in Black Ops 3 or not, but the blood vials were confusing. American Samantha, what's up with that? Honestly, the actual lore explanation is just as dumb. The Panzer. Oh my god, round 8. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for round 8. Oh my god. The siren lives rent-free in my head. That's why I don't really like the Black Ops 3 variant of this map, because they used a different siren, like the one from Der Eisendrach, which, whatever. So whatever. It added the wonderful Wonder Fizz. I love the Wonder Fizz. The Wonder Fizz is amazing. I am a big Wonder Fizz fan. I love the Wonder Fizz. It's like a box, but for perks, and they put PhD in that. God forbid we get a book machine. Oh, and blue. Oh my god, the amount of blue on the map. Like, so much blue. All these blue rocks, and a few green ones. And then you had the blue Pack-a-Punch camo, which was also a green Pack-a-Punch camo on the multiplayer, which was cool. I like that. Big robot, which is basically just Brutus with a claw, and I love this. And he's really easy, and I don't know why people freak out so much when they see him, but he's good. The crazy plate, now that's wild. I also love how if you don't steal the gems, the walls just don't come down, but a lot of people don't know that because the first thing you do is steal the gem and run away. Also, when you complete the Easter egg, the walls stop falling down. It's a pretty good training spot if you're willing to do the entire Easter egg, which I have done solo on Black Ops 2. Bit of a flex. Yeah, I was quite alone between the years of Black Ops 3. And the ending. A weird ending. That was a weird ending. I mean, they've explained it, but that was a weird ending. After Origins, people were confused and excited. One of the best and most intricate maps of all time had one of the most confusing endings. Was it just a dream? Why were these characters... Why new characters? We just finished the storyline. French? The French? Like, what was up with these figures? Little did we know, this was just the beginning of one of the most confusing yet beloved times for zombies. In the year between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, the zombies community went really quiet. However, the ones that stayed became super dedicated. This led to the popularization of community challenges, such as the Rainbow Perk Challenge, the 2-Box Challenge, the Spawn Room Challenge, and just so many more. Like, these videos, these were the heart of the community at the time. They really strengthened the community, and they popularized some of the most iconic YouTubers in the COD community. You know, some of them aren't really part of the COD community to these days, but some of them are. Some of them are strong. YouTubers such as Mr. Dalek JD, Mr. T Lexify, The Smith Plays, and my personal favourite, Mr. Rothwaffles. Now, at the time it was The Smith Plays, but today it's Mr. Rothwaffles. Oh my god, Mr. Rothwaffles is good. Yeah. With this strong cult following, the community were insanely hyped for what could possibly come in the next installment. Squids? The trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies changed what could possibly be in a zombies map. With these HP Lovecraftian inspired creatures, what was happening to Call of Duty Zombies? Some people were really against this, but some people were really for it, and we really, at the time, did not know what was going to happen. And all we could do was wait for the release. Shadows of Evil. Whew, Shadows of Evil added a lot. The side quests, there was so many side quests, like more than I really even know. They added the Gobblegums. Obviously they added all this Lovecraftian stuff, right? They added new characters, the Chronorium. And yeah, okay, it's the only Easter egg in Black Ops 3 I've not done because, well, I'm not tempted. Because, you need 4 people. Why do you need 12 people? Anyway, the ending. Oh my god, the ending. Like, I mean, I don't think people care about spoilers, right? If you care about spoilers, skip a few seconds, because Edward Richtofen stealing that summoning key, like, wow. This led into The Giant. Now, The Giant was not just a remaster, but it was a remaster, but better. Like, okay, you had all the original stuff, but then you had the secret perk Easter egg. The Little Lost Girl Easter egg actually gave you some... No, Little Lost Girl. the flytrap Easter egg actually gave you something, and they added just so much joy, and you could actually finally play the map without losing your jug. But yeah, it was good. And the intro cutscene, the time loop stuff, honestly, like, this added a lot of lore stuff. It was the most popular in the game. It was very much essential to the launch. But with the launch of Black Ops 3 being received so positively, people were not sure what the second map, like, would be. Like, sure, it'd be good, but I don't think it'll be that much better, right? Surely Map Pack 1 would be on a similar scale, right? Horizon Track. Oh my god. The bows. Now, it's a rip-off of the staff. The bows. The dead Dempsey. Oh my god, he died. He died. They killed off Dempsey, but not actually killed off Dempsey, but they killed off Dempsey. Like, that was sad. First ever proper boss battle in Zombies. Now, we've had boss battle-ish things in the past, but this is the boss battle. Like, they put you in a arena. The souls being collected in the summoning key. And blowing up the moon? Blowing up the moon? Yeah, this solidified an alternate timeline. The Earth wasn't blown up by the moon. The moon was blown up by the Earth. What is this alternate timeline? Horizon Track is still considered to be one of the best maps to this day. And a lot of people's favorites. With the iconic bows and the mystery of the story only getting more intriguing, this map quickly became one of the most popular maps of all time. It could only go up from here. Zetsubo no Shima. Now, yeah, it didn't go up. Zetsubo no Shima had an atmosphere to it. Amazing atmosphere. It had the spiders, it had a little mini boss. I believe it was the first ever, like, proper mini boss. And it was broken. Zetsubo no Shima released with initial backlash as the map was filled with bugs. It does, however, have a bit of a cult following, and overall is considered one of the best maps due to the world building and atmosphere. Now, this map was pretty popular after Black Ops 3, but in the time, it was honestly mostly for the lore. It was good lore, and the ending cutscene, amazing. But yeah, it's not really the best when it comes to gameplay. Like, I mean, there's just... But the secret's in all of the map. Wait, what's in that giant egg anyway? Gorod Krovi! Oh, Gorod Krovi. I love Gorod Krovi. That was genuine. Oh my god, I need to calm down and have a cup of tea. Keep calm, have a cup of tea. That's British. So Gorod Krovi, introducing dragons. Oh my god, I did not think dragons were going to be real in the Call of Duty timeline. They still have them. Why are dragons a thing? I don't mind. I love dragons, but oh my, the dragons. And then the Manglers, like, those are iconic. I still like them. I like the Manglers. Some people don't. I do. The baby dragon is one of the cutest things I've ever seen, and I will protect him. And I will get him every single map. Obviously, you're gonna get him every single map, but yeah, those dragons, they're great. I love the dragons. And the dragon shield, the fire, that was cool. Oh, and the PPSH. Now, the PPSH is a weird one, because at the time, people were talking about old zombies, right? There was lots of top 10 lists. It was really like the peak of the top 10 era. And the PPSH was considered one of the most popular weapons of all time. And a lot of people wanted it back. Everyone wanted it back. And they re-released it. And I think that was calculated, but it was really good. And I've not seen a Call of Duty game without the PPSH ever since. But it's good. Wow. So with Gorod Krovi, this was one of the most hype releases of all time that I've seen to this day. Like, I've not seen a hyper zombies release. And this map came in blazing and left its mark on the people. And people love this map, and it wasn't hard to see why. It was a perfect build-up to the grand finale. Everyone was on their seats. Revelations. Now, Revelations is a map fueled from nostalgia, but that's okay, because it's a love letter to zombies, really. It's supposed to be the close of this timeline. There was a disappointing boss battle, but you could upgrade the Apothicon Servant, something people wanted since Shadows of Evil. This was a big deal, and just a perfect love letter to the franchise. Revelations was, despite the boss battle, a nice cohesive ending to the story. A story building since 2008 was finally coming to a close. The time loop was satisfying and structured. They finally explained Origin's ending. The Apothicons lost, and we stand victorious. Anyway, Black Ops 4. Now, I skipped Black Ops 4. So this will mostly be about the game as a whole. Black Ops 4 was a you'd think a trans person would be able to say transitionary. So Black Ops 4 was a transitionary period between the classic zombies and the modern zombies. They had the controversial perk changes, the new loadout system. This zombies experience was a mixed bag. I played it a few times, but I've not played that much of it, so I'm not really going to speak too much in depth, but they reworked the Pack-a-Punch, which nobody liked. They didn't add Juggernaut, and they had two stories side by side, which were just confusing. Although Black Ops 4 is not one of the most popular games, it did have a nice ending to the original Aether storyline. Like, it added closure, mixed with its fun and unique gameplay. It's kind of become a bit of a cult classic in some corners of the community. I would arguably say I'm part of that. I really like Black Ops 4 Zombies, and I'm actually excited to play more of it. With a tearful but tragic ending, hopeful and destroyed of the original timeline, this game, for all its flaws, still beloved. As I'm writing the script, I feel like this is a good point to end it. If you would like to see me tackle the more modern games and see my opinions on Black Ops 7, comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Subscribe if you like. I probably will be making a part 2 with the modern zombies, but this was my recap on the classic zombies and why it's so important to me. I'd love to hear what you think. My links are in the description, all my stuff, and yeah, subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you soon. I can't wait for Black Ops 7.